Hi, welcome to the News Agenda for Monday, January 18th. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, also known as White People Misquoting MLK for Their Own Purposes Day. Yeah! It's also Thesaurus Day. These may be separate, unrelated, unconnected, independent, distinct, uncoupled, and or discrete holidays, but there they are. So make sure to support, subscribe, and advocate for the News Agenda by clicking the happy fun icons in your moving picture or video viewer of choice. Today's top news story. This is the last News Agenda before Trump leaves office. Yeah! As an aside, initial drafts of the script said Biden assumes the presidency instead of Trump leaves. But because we're more excited about the fucking shithead that's leaving instead of the mere shithead that's coming in, that's what I went with the first one. So it goes. So insiders say that President Trump's final day in office, he will issue around 100 pardons and commutations. Some of Trump's allies have collected many thousands of dollars in access fees, or as we used to call them, bribes. While nobody at the News Agenda is a CPA, we want to make sure that these officials claim their income on the relevant tax return forms and pay their fair share. Some advisors are urging Trump to give a blanket pardon to all actors for their actions on January 6th during the insurrection of the Capitol. However, Trump said if anyone's going to get away with everything that happened that day, it was going to be him. In betting news, the MyPillow guy, who has a name that I can't be bothered to look up, met with President Trump a few days ago. He appeared to have notes that advocated for martial law. Former aide to the president said it was hard to believe a former crack addict had found an even worse rock bottom than he had before his recovery. In related coup news, there was chatter of possible incidents at state capitals throughout the U.S. this past weekend. But they were little more than some isolated protests. It is believed that the American people will be wise and see that this lack of violence is deterrence that it was meant to be rather than just an overreaction. Wise. That's funny shit there. It's easy to dismiss just the past 4 years, the worst years ever. But we have to admit that Trump has done some things. For example, Trump has made moves that resulted in unsubsidized Obamacare plans becoming increasingly unaffordable, ensuring that millions of people will not be able to get in the way when it's time to get a coronavirus vaccine. The president has also made inroads at bringing jobs back to America, at least 25,000 peacekeeping jobs for President-elect Biden's inauguration, in fact. President Trump's administration refused to protect workers, thereby killing untold thousands because of the coronavirus and leaving job openings available for future survivors. Trump expanded food insecurity by removing access or reducing food subsidies relied upon by millions. Betsy DeVos has made significant changes to the Department of Education and how they handle transgender students. This shows us that there are people who don't understand that society has ensured all women, cis or trans, pretty much loathe their bodies and do not want anyone to see them. And guys, trans guys and cis guys are also pretty insecure. But that's just a partial list. Thank you, President Trump, for your disservice. Now, it's easy to poke fun at Trump's presidency. In international news, 12 miners were trapped in a Chinese gold mine in the Shandong province, and they have gotten a note to rescuers from about 2,000 feet below ground. 10 miners remain unaccounted for. The miners said in their note that being in a gold mine was not the kind of job that the metaphors had prepared them for. In related news, I now have weird feels about my Minecraft gold farm. In follow-up to last week's news that Alexei Navalny's announcement that he would return to Russia, he did, and then was arrested. He will be held for 30 days, during which time it is widely expected that he will die. In coronavirus news, the United States prison population has been ravaged by the virus. Over 340,000 prisoners have tested positive for the virus, and at least 2,144 deaths in the U.S. prisons have been attributed to the coronavirus. While many people are dismissive of the prison population, we cannot forget that many people haven't been convicted. And even if they have been convicted, they were not sentenced to death by coronavirus. These people are largely waiting trial. One death that happened this weekend was the murder of Lena Jean Clarkson. He was also known to have pulled guns on many people in anger or just for fun. including some of the Ramones. He also at least shared an acquaintance with Charles Manson. That's it. That was the news at Gen for Monday, and this is your Guardian Angle signing off. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and please remember, I love you.